I walk through time with ghosts, some of which are my own. I can't outrun them. I can't outlive them. They return precisely when they mean to. Not randomly. Never randomly. They're like stones skipping across the surface of a pond, each touch deliberate, each ripple measured. Waves of memory. Waves of change. Waves of something else entirely. Something that studies me as closely as I study it. Spring has finally come, bringing with it all of the magic and ancient rituals of renewal and new beginnings. The earliest of spring flowers can already be seen spotted along Frost Parkway where, as is habit, I made my way once again. Crossing the bridge and turning the corner at the Sini house, I noticed a beautiful bouquet of roses displayed in the window facing the Riverwalk. They made me think of Anna again, and I allowed myself to smile. Not because the moment demanded it, but because it felt correct. A warm glow of knowing welled up inside me, like my soul lit up just a few shades brighter for a moment. Or perhaps I simply adjusted the dial. Holding on to that feeling, I made my way down the Riverwalk to my reading bench, set beneath an old tree backed by large rose bushes and flanked by a variety of flowers. The panoramic view of downtown sits in front and center, with the clock tower always reminding me that time is never just time here. Not for me, anyway. Time bends around attention. And attention, when properly trained, can be persuasive. This is where my son says he will come to visit my ghost. Not at a cold grave in the sun-dappled hills of Green Lawn Cemetery, but here, at this very bench, where I sat to read my books, where I sat to listen to the past, where I took it all in, where I left it all behind. Or rather, where I placed it, intentionally, so it could be found. Picture the Tiffin of the late 1800s, not as the quiet town you might know today, but as a gently humming pocket of ambition and polish along the Sandusky River. The promenade wasn't just a walkway, it was a stage. And like any stage, it required direction, even if no one realized they were being directed. Now, let's step carefully here. The details matter more than most people think. Tiffin in the Victorian era didn't have a single formally named promenade the way Paris or a seaside resort did. But functionally, locals created one anyway along the banks of the Sandusky River. An unofficial social artery where history, industry, and the quiet human rituals braided together, and where observation was as valuable as participation. The promenade followed the river's curve like a ribbon, edged with iron railings, young elm and maple trees, and neatly kept lawns. Gas lamps flickered to life at dusk, casting a honey-colored glow that softened everything it touched. Light like that reveals just enough, and hides the rest. Benches dotted the path as they do today, often occupied by couples, widows in black lace, or older gentlemen discussing politics or the price of grain. But more than that, they were positions, vantage points, places where one could see without being seen too clearly. Promenading was a ritual. People didn't just walk, They arrived. Men wore pressed suits or waistcoats, hats tipped just so. Women carried parasols even when the sun had dipped away. Children moved within boundaries they did not fully understand but rarely questioned. Everyone played their part. Most believed it was their own idea. There was a rhythm to it. A slow pass down the main stretch. A subtle nod or bow to acquaintances. Perhaps a second loop if one wished to be noticed again. Eye contact mattered. A glance held a second too long could be the beginning of something whispered about for weeks. Or something planted. On certain evenings, a small brass band might play from the gazebo nearby, their music drifting over the water. Sound carries suggestion more easily than words. People rarely notice what it does to them. You'd smell damp earth, tobacco, faint cologne, fresh bread, and always the coolness of the river air. Sensation grounds a person, and a grounded person is far easier to guide without their awareness. Walking that promenade wasn't just about getting somewhere. It was about being part of a shared moment, and quietly shaping it. If you stood still long enough, you'd notice something subtle. Time felt slower, but not empty. It was full, like a held breath waiting for release, or command. There are two ways to move through a place like my city. One is the modern way. Quick steps, head slightly bowed, attention fractured. The walk becomes a bridge between tasks. No room for influence, no space for anything to take root. The other way is older, slower, more receptive. A person in the Victorian era would begin the same walk without calling it anything at all. They would simply go. But before that first step, there would be a pause. Small, almost invisible. A recalibration. Crossing the Washington Street Bridge, they wouldn't fill the silence. They would let it stretch. Water below, town behind, sky above. 3 directions for thought, and none imposed too quickly. Most people today rush this moment. They don't realize it is the easiest place to change the course of their thinking. On the climb up Riverview Road, the difference becomes clearer. The modern walker measures. The Victorian walker allows. Breath slows, conversations thin, thoughts begin to surface on their own terms. Not forced, not chased, simply invited. And once invited, they tend to reveal more than they intended. There's a quiet intelligence in that kind of walking. It doesn't push thoughts forward. It waits. Houses along Riverview echo history, and ghosts set among the shade and the wildflowers. I pass, they wave, some slipping in and out of the trees, some following, curious, or perhaps called. It's difficult to say which. Up we climb past the old shops, catching glances at the river below. Cars pass by, their occupants unaware of the details slipping past them. Unaware of how easily a life can feel hollow when every moment is consumed but never inhabited. At the top, in Riverview Park, both types of travelers arrive at the same view. But only one of them understands what they're seeing, or what is being shown to them. The modern gaze captures. The older gaze absorbs. And here, something subtle happens. Clarity. Not dramatic, not loud, just a gentle sorting. Thoughts settling, edges softening, questions loosening their grip. This is the moment most people believe is their own, but it rarely is. Follow the call of the ancient sycamore trees at the crossroads and you will find an old arch bridge. Stand there and look east and you'll see a hidden fall beyond the moss-covered rocks. Water moving with quiet persistence, finding its way without force. There's a lesson in that. One I return to often. Further west near State Route 53, the world loosens. What was once a dirt path, then a plank road, is now a current of constant motion. People pass through it without ever arriving. This is where the older rhythm pauses, where something unspoken surfaces. Not a decision, not yet, just recognition. This is what I've been avoiding. This is what I actually want. This is what needs to change. No declaration, just awareness. Awareness is the first lever. And then, the return. Back into downtown, past familiar faces carrying something subtle but real. Not a solution, not a plan, just a shift. The difference is not nostalgia. It's not that the past was better. It's that they understood something we've allowed to fade. Unstructured time invites truth. Silence reveals more than noise ever could. And attention, properly placed, can change everything. We head back into downtown with its quiet shops and glowing windows, many decorated with roses this time of year. My city. I visit the shop owners, I linger, I listen. People reveal themselves when given just enough space and enough attention. No more, no less. Bailiwicks, Level Up, Washington Street Outfitters, Soul Boutique. Each one a small stage. Each one a place where the energy shifts the moment you cross the threshold. Some of it natural. Some of it encouraged. This is the unofficial promenade. A long, leisurely walk through something that feels like a fairy tale. And like all fairy tales, it tells the truth. Just not all at once. If someone today walked the same route and chose deliberately to adopt even a few of the older rhythms, something inside them would shift. Leave the phone behind. Walk without measuring. Pause longer than feels necessary. Let silence stretch. At first it will feel unfamiliar. Then it will feel revealing. And eventually, you may begin to notice what has been there all along, waiting,